Hello, I am Lisa Reid of the Cartus Supply Chain Management team, and I am so glad that you could join us for this instalment of Cartus on the Ground. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Irina Yakimenko of Intermark Relocation Services. Irina will talk on several subjects important to people moving to Russia.
For many years, especially during the Soviet times, most of the properties that we had appearing were very small ones. So what we are facing now, almost 50% of the properties which are on average available, which just exist in the market, would be maximum one-bedroom properties. Yeah. Whereas what we have expats or families coming into Moscow and Russia, they're looking for much bigger properties. So, for example, 4 or 5 bedroom properties, it's just only up to 10% of all the properties available would be 3 or 4 bedroom properties, and it's just in the whole of Moscow, whereas expats normally would be looking at a very specific location. But this is more of a general situation that exists. But if we're looking at 2012, at the situation that we have now, the supply of the properties is really going down, as a lot of the investment properties which were available for rent during the economic recession are now off the rental market. So for the past year, we had 30% of the properties which just disappeared from the rental market. Thus, the supply and demand there is a big disbalance between supply and demand, which immediately drives the rents up. So it's really the mix of high rental rates and not very low, not low availability, but very small availability of bigger properties available, makes it quite challenging for a family to find a property in Russia. Schooling would be the deal breaker for the family to accept or not accept the assignment. So if the family is happy to move, but their kids are not accepted to the school, it's unlikely they will be moving and accepting the assignments. There are quite a few international schools in Moscow. There are 5 of them, and there's also a separate, there's a French school and there is a German school. Together with that, there is the most popular school, Anglo-American school, which most of the families want to get into. But generally speaking, the situation with schooling is very difficult, as most of the schools have waiting lists to get into their schools. So we're always advising our assignees and companies to apply for school as early in the process as possible. No matter where the decision has been made, it's better to submit the application and to be in the line to get into school, rather than this becoming a real problem when you're all set and ready to move. Of course, visa and immigration, just the sounds of it reminds of bureaucracy and timing and different complex situation. Work permits, I would say, are complicated everywhere. And from my opinion, it would be the visa that really makes the assignee plan their travel to Russia well in advance. You can't just decide that tomorrow you need to attend a meeting and just go, buy a plane ticket and go. You would always need to be, you would always need to do a lot of pre-planning in terms of your travel schedules. Language is definitely one of the key challenges, I would say, for the assignees and families who are coming to Russia. First of all, it's a completely different alphabet. So there is no chance that you can just try and work out the word as you would do in Paris. Moscow, of course, is a way ahead of anywhere else in Russia, and younger generation would definitely speak English. But still, the majority of people would not be speaking English. And so many routine things like going shopping would be challenging because all the products, all the groceries would be in Russia. Just easy things like going to metro. It won't be difficult to understand how metro works because it's very similar to everywhere else in the world. But it's just which platform to take, which direction the train goes, what's the name of the stop. Well, everything is in Cyrillic, is in Russian. Mm-hmm. So simple things would be very challenging. And until you actually deal with it or come across with it, you don't realize how challenging it's going to be. So just the fact that the families and assignees are not prepared for it, this becomes a biggest challenge. And we would always recommend to the assignees and the clients to do the language training and to start language training even before you have come to Russia, so that at least the letters are more familiar and just to know some key words, so that it's because these easy things can make the whole assignment and the whole move so much less stressful. Funny enough, most of the expats would be saying the same thing, that this is the richest cultural experience they have had out of all their assignments anywhere else. Rich, not only cultural in terms of Russian culture, but also rich experience in terms of their social life, as expatriate community is so, especially in Moscow, is so vibrant, is so organized. They're just, the way of living is completely different in terms of social life. And many expats would be concerned how they're going to be able to maintain this kind of active social life when they're back home, as things are so much less organized and so much, more routine.
I hope that you've enjoyed this look into a move to Russia. Thanks to Irina for sharing her insights with us. Some of the key points that she discussed were housing, education, and language. If you would like additional information about Russia, please send us an email. We'd love to speak to you. For Cartus Supply Chain Management, I'm Lisa Reed.